Okay. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to this Word on the Street by the LFC Day Trippers. I think we're okay now with sound. It wasn't Molly's fault. It was my fucking fault. Let's be perfectly honest about it. I'm your host, Gav. Molly's with me. I'm going to throw him up on screen now. And there is Molly. If you can hear me, I hope it's all good. People on Periscope will tell me if you can't. But I think we can, so we're okay. Molly, yeah, we can hear me because I can fucking hear that on my phone now. Molly, we're going to go through all things Liverpool. We're going to have to go over a couple of names. We're going to go through I suppose, the quietness from the club, regardless of Fabinho and Fekir and everything else. We're going to go through all that. But just quickly, the World Cup kicked off on Thursday night, I think it was. We've had, 8-10 games, something like that now. How are you finding it?
I think it's been absolutely brilliant so far, Gav. The Spain-Portugal one, certainly the highlight of the World Cup so far. Ronaldo, got to give it to the guy. Yeah, ex-United player, current Real Madrid, but he is unbelievable. Like that last goal when he knew the cameras were on him, he pulls up the shorts to show the thigh muscle. He does huffs in his chest and just blangs it into the top corner. You've got to give it to this guy. At what? I think he's 31. I know we were talking a little bit earlier on.
He's 33.
I ain't buying that. There's no way that guy's 33.
Right, fourth mission for Periscope. Let us know how
what
old
age
Ronaldo is. Me and Molly have a huge bet on this. I think it's about 48 cents on it, but we go there. I think he's 33. I'm being honest with you.
Oh, he's unbelievable, though, isn't he?
It's, do you know what, Molly, for me, and we probably said it when we were on mute, but you see players through the years and they structure their game to a different kind of way because they're getting older, they lose that yard of pace or they try to be some way different. For me, he doesn't look to get involved in games, he just looks to impact them. That's the way I look right now.
Yeah, no, I agree, Joe. I remember when he first joined United, he was full of these little step overs and trying to get involved and try to pull a trick or so, but now he's more so of, look, this game is going to end all about me because I'm going to do something special. So, yeah, I'm not going to run around and do all the flicks and tricks all game, but when I get the opportunity, I'm going to put it away, and that's what he does. I'm in amazement by him. If he is 33, that's crazy because he looks great, he's absolutely fit as anything, and he can still do it on the pitch.
Yeah, for me, I'm nearly sure he's 33. I'm waiting on someone on Periscope to tell me what age he is. But the way he's manoeuvred his way in this game, you know, like last night, like I know it sounds ridiculous, but he wins a penalty, fair enough. He hits a shot that the guy 99 times out of 100 gathers and does, and then he sticks a free kick at the top bin, and it's all about impact. I thought it was it is a standard game in the World Cup. Is there any other games that have impressed you?
The Iceland Argentina game, I was hugely impressed with that, not because of the skill level, but what I found interesting was if, like, everyone compares Ronaldo and Messi, you could see by Messi that the pressure that's on him from Argentina, he's carrying all basically the country's hopes, and he just seems to crumble underneath that Argentine pressure, where Ronaldo's completely different. He absolutely thrives on it. He loves it. So I found that very interesting, and even the Icelandic team, they were great in defence, kicked absolute lumps out of Argentina, and when they had a chance to tuck it. And the fans, you know, Ireland having qualified, so, you know, the Icelandic fans have certainly taken our place with that Icelandic clap. Oh, I'm a big fan of that.
But you know what the thing is with Messi for me? I look at, if you look the way Real Madrid play the game now and they suit themselves to Ronaldo, so it's they hold possession. They do genuinely try to get it wide to Carvajal and say Marcelo. Yeah. They're looking for them balls into the box for Ronaldo, but that's where he thrives. When you look at Messi, then he plays in a Barcelona team that's all about one-touch football, you know, intricate football, getting in behind people, you know, in behind the fullbacks, pullbacks, goals, things like that. And when you look at Argentina yesterday, I just thought they were so flat, so in front of Iceland. And Di Maria, for me, I said it on Twitter. Now I caveated it with that he may score on any minute now, but for me he was fucking atrocious because as a left winger he didn't do anything going backwards, but he didn't do anything going forward either. He didn't come inside his fullback, he didn't go outside him, he didn't deliver any balls, he didn't look to play football with Messi. He was literally offering himself to every player to go, give me it and let's play, and nothing happened. But
well, he was He was the Man United Di Maria that we saw last night, I think. He wasn't the one we saw Real Madrid and PSG.
And the Di Maria that he raved about, and then he went to United and it didn't happen, and then he raved about him since.
Yeah.
He looked very, very average for me. I thought Peru and Denmark was very good because I thought it was two teams that might be underdogs in the group, but really went at each other. I was gutted for Peru, but the penalty was fucking atrocious. But I had an argument in the pub today about the whole VAR based around this Peru-Denmark game, and I still go back to the rugby union model where you make a decision, it's done, yes. You make a decision, no, and it's done. And if you're not sure of the decision, you go upstairs and they make it for you. And it's done and dusted. This whole thing of like, you know, I'm not making a decision and someone else will tell me and I'll run to the crowd and all that. It doesn't do it for me. But look, I'm sure it'll progress as it goes on. But look,
I have to be honest, Kev, I've been a huge fan of VAR on the World Cup. I remember when it came out for the FA Cup, if you remember our game against West Brom, it felt like it was being stopped every 5 minutes. It felt like it was taking 10 minutes to make a decision. But in this World Cup, it seems that if the referee is unsure, he'll go, no, I'm not going to give it, but I'll wait till the ball comes into neutral space. Then I'll go to VAR. And he's having like maybe 2 looks off the screen and he's coming back and making his decision. I think it's not taking any longer than maybe 1-2 minutes. And even then, the extra time, I've noticed there's a lot of extra time lately. In the first half and second half, they're all 5 to 6 minutes to account for the VAR. When we played West Brom, I think it was almost like 3 minutes, but it should have been about 10. So I think the VAR has been brilliant so far this World Cup.
I think it has been great, and I think it's been beneficial, but I still go back to, if the referee makes a positive or negative decision, that's it, as far as I'm concerned. If he's not sure, just say he's not sure, go up to the VAR lads and let them make the decision for him. Yeah, let them say, we have stop them running off the pitch and looking at screens. You know, the kind of way. That's just me. And
okay, so what you're saying is it's pointless the ref having a look back at the replay. Just go to VAR, lads.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So if a guy is in the box and he goes down, he makes a decision yes, or he makes a decision no, and he lives by it, right? But if he goes down and he's not sure, all he has to do is say, no, I need to look at that. The way rugby union do, I need to look at that, and switch on the mics. You can hear the conversation between referee and VAR, and the VAR lads look back at it and we say, we've looked at it from 5 angles. We believe it's a penalty. And it's done.
Yeah, but it's still up to the referee, even in the rugby. Like they might say to him, look, we see no reason why you can't give it a try. But at the end of the day, it's still up to the ref to make that call. You know, I don't think you can go up to VAR there and go, look, I didn't see it. I don't know what happened. Will you make the call for me? I think it has to come down to the referee at the end of the day to make the decision.
Yeah, no, I get that, but I think he makes a decision, good or bad, and if... look, it's another day to go into because I have strong feelings on this. I'm a fan of VAR, but I'm just not a fan of the way it's implemented. Because as far as I'm concerned, there was loads of time between him not giving that decision last night for Denmark to go up the far end of the pitch and score, and then someone to say to him, you need to look at that. Did he give Denmark the goal? Did he give him the goal and then say, oh, by the way, you can have that goal, we're giving you a penalty against you? That's my argument in the whole thing.
Yeah, well, no, it's certainly not perfect, but I think it is the way forward. It does need to be changed up a little bit and maybe a little bit faster, and have the fans, I don't know if they're doing it this World Cup, but on the big screen, show the replays on the big screen so the fans know what's going on and they can kind of make their own judgment and, you know, get them a bit more involved.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just something that's I think it's a great World Cup so far. It's just bugged me. Anyway, let's get on to Liverpool.
Yeah.
We're going to do this for about half an hour or so and see where we go. Right, Ryan Brewster, I'm going to come to him first because word has been, it could have been yesterday, it could have been today, I've been drinking for most of it. So, you know, you can fill me in on what day it was, but according to decent sources and journals and stuff like that, Ryan Brewster will sign or has signed a new deal at Liverpool. I'm thrilled because I genuinely could have seen him disappearing. And I'm really happy with it. I hope he goes away on the tour now to America in the summer, and I hope he gets a chance to make it. Oh, actually, he might still be injured. He mightn't get away on that. We will see. But how happy are you with this one? Because this is the shining light of the academy right now. After, you know, Trent has gone on to first team. A couple of players have actually left the club that you had high hopes for. Now this guy is the next big thing. How happy are you to see us tie him down and and try to see some progression in him.
Yeah, well, I think it's great news, Gav, and I'm afraid we're going to have to give credit to Grizz on this. If you remember, we spoke about Brewster, was it last week?
Unfortunately, yeah.
Yeah, we do, and he said that, look, he's going to sign a no deal, that's all sorted, and turns out today that, he's agreed a 5-year deal. I think it's great news. You're right, I think he is injured at the moment, but seemingly by the time the boys come back from the World Cup, he'll be fit as well, so he should probably go on the American tour or play some part in pre-season. I'm probably going to use the phrase that people don't like, but he is like a new signing. This guy, he's never played with us before. So if he was playing with Borussia Mönchengladbach, and we heard that we were in for this guy who's the top goal scorer under 17 World Cup, he's highly thought of by his parent club. He's been tearing it up on the underage leagues. And if we were signing him for, 5 to 10 million, we'd all be thrilled. Yeah. I'm delighted with it. I reckon the club probably had to make a couple of promises to him. Not only will he be part of the first team, I think they're going to have to offload players like Sturridge and Ings and probably Origi as well. They give him that pathway to the first team. The same could be said of Harry Wilson. I think to hold on to him, you're going to have to say, look, we're going to shift on a couple of lads and we're going to give yourself and Brewster and Woodburn, all these guys, we're going to give you the opportunity to fight it out to decide who's going to be number 2 in the pecking order of Firmino.
Yeah. The injury has thrown me a bit because I thought he was out for a long, long time. But again, my sense of timing is not good. It's Sunday evening and I've been in the pub for most of it. You reckon he's back? You reckon he's back in pre-season?
Yeah, well, I read on the Echo today that they said that he is injured at the moment, but they reckon that he's going to be back once the boys come back from the World Cup. So that's maybe 3 or 4 weeks before the start of the season. So yeah, he should be. I can't really remember the pre-season tour when we go to America and when we finish it, but they said that at the very least he should see some involvement in the pre-season. Now that could be against Torino, or I think they're coming to Dublin as well. Who knows? Might see him against Napoli in Dublin.
Yeah, we'd be all cross-eyed after days drinking once down anyway. So it won't fucking matter whether he plays or not. I'll just tell him he was deadly anyway. But for me, Brewster, the thing about Brewster is I'm watching this player playing up front for Liverpool, and it's a long time since I've watched a forward that excites me as much. Probably going back as far as Michael Owen. And that may sound like an exaggeration, but name me another striker that's come into a Liverpool team at that age with that sort of... He has this cockiness.
He does.
Not cockiness, but a self-belief in his ability. And you see the goals. Like, there was one he scored last season where it's crossed 50 yards and he hits it on the volley, a side-footed volley into the bottom corner, and you're kind of going, that fucker has a massive set of balls on him, because the easiest thing to do is take it down, try beat a defender and slot it. But that's
not only that, if you look at it, that if we never saw an under 21 game, or we didn't see him in the World Cup, what Klopp has come out with. I remember when Klopp, he wasn't in too long, and people were asking about Trent Alexander-Arnold and Ben Woodburn, and he goes, look, we have another guy in the academy. You think these 2 guys are good? Wait till you see this guy coming through. Now, we never mentioned him, but everyone, it kind of came out afterwards that he was on about Brewster. We've called off a friendly against Borussia Mönchengladbach because they tried to tap him up. So he gave him praise when he went to the Football Writers Association Awards that time. So we obviously see showing huge belief in this kid. So if we never saw this guy play, that should be enough to say we have an exciting prospect on our hands here.
Yeah, I've just seen someone on Periscope there saying we're not selling 3 players to play Brewster. I don't think that's the point. I think the point Molly is trying to make is that, I don't think Klopp has any belief in Sturridge. I think his belief in Origi is severely diminished since, he let him go out on loan. And even though he showed a lot of belief in him in 2015-16, was it? Was it 15-16?
Yeah, just a year against Dortmund.
Yeah. And then you have the likes of Ings that I think he feels a little bit of, loyalty to because of his injuries, but I think that loyalty has run out now. He's given him as much chance, and I think that might go. I think what Molly's trying to say there is that this lad is coming in, and Klopp is kind of going, rubbing his hands, going, "Oh my God, yeah, 17, 18, full of ability, full of pace, power, an eye for goal, a willingness to learn." He suits Klopp down to the ground, doesn't he?
Yeah, and I'd like that. We ain't selling 3 players to give him game time. Look, we're really only selling 1 player, which is Ings, because he already loaned out Origi and Sturridge last season. So that proves, Klopp wasn't counting on these guys. He doesn't see him part of the future. So really, we're only selling Ings to give Brewster that kind of clear route to the forward line. And I think, again, I think we'll hold on to Solanke. I know a few people have said maybe this means he goes off on loan, but no, I think Solanke will stay. So I can see, Firmino, Solanke, Brewster and Wilson taking up the 4 spots for that kind of central strike position for next season.
Can you see Wilson making an impact?
I think he will. Like, if you look at the goals, the amount of goals he scored on the underage level, starting, I think he got something like over 40 in one season alone. He absolutely tore it up at Hull when he went on loan. He's done well for Wales when he's played. Some people say, look, he's a bit smaller, the frame isn't great, or his speed isn't great. But you can't deny the guy's stats. He knows how to put a ball into the back of the net. And for me, that's enough. So I'd be very disappointed if he wasn't at least given a chance next season. I don't want to see another loan move for him. I don't want to see us send him off. I want to see him, right, you're coming in and we're going to give you a proper chance this year. If it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out.
But the way I look at it is, you have your front 3, right? I don't think Ings is anywhere near it.
No.
Solanke, I'm willing to give more of a leeway, because I think he's shown a willingness to play in this team. And in fairness, I will say it, and look, I've been lashed by the lads on WhatsApp groups and everything. For me, Solanke and Ings were part of the squad and didn't show up enough when we needed them towards the back end of last season. But the one thing I will say for Solanke is above Ings is that when you put him in a team like you did on the last day of the season against Brighton with all them players around him, he looked to excel, and I'm happy with that. I think you may see something like front 3 that are there. I think you will see Brewster. I think you will see Solanke, but I think you might look to add 1 more in there. And what I mean by that is he adds 1 more in that plays across the front 3, and he tries to add 1 more, a la Fekir or someone like that can play either in the midfield 3 or part of them positions up front. So he's well covered. So, if he needs to use Solanke or he needs to use a Brewster, for argument's sake, I think he's comfortable in doing that because he has all these players that are available to him. Unless a mad injury just comes about. But I wouldn't be too bad about, say, the front 3, a top quality front 3 player brought in, and Solanke and a Brewster, because I think Brewster, although a lot younger than Ings, I think he's a goal getter.
Yeah.
And I think that's what we need. We need a goal getter in there that, alright, he might come on, he might do fucking terrible for 15 minutes, but he might get a chance and score. And you can't argue with that. And if you're willing to bring this 17-year-old through and promise him, as you said, certain things, and you bring him into a squad, you're going to have to play him. You're not going to have to play him, but you're going to have to give him some sort of opportunity in the position that he plays in, rather than saying, will you go on there and play left midfield? That makes no fucking sense, does it?
No, I fully agree with you. I think they will bring in someone, as you said, let's just say it's Fekir, for argument's sake, who's going to, he can fill in that midfield role. If someone like Mane, Salah, Firmino's out, he can certainly cover in the top 3 as well. But when you look at the likes of Brewster and Wilson, I see these guys as the second sub. They may not be the first one, but they're going to be guys that are going to get a run out 15, 20 minutes to go. They're going to get a League Cup appearance, an FA Cup appearance, that type of thing,
Yeah, so are you going for something like the front 3 plus a top quality player with that, along with Brewster, Solanke, Wilson? Is that what you're looking at?
That's exactly what I'm looking at. I'm looking at the front 3 as is, one other top quality guy who's going to get plenty of game time for injuries and resting players, and the other 3 guys then, the Solanke, Brewster, Wilson, I see those at either the first or second sub depending on how the game's going.
Yeah, and if you add into that someone that, like, let's go back to Fekir. If you look at Fekir and you say, right, he plays in the midfield 3, but he can also play off the left or right, and possibly in a Firmino role as well if need to be. So you basically what you're doing is you're not putting too much emphasis on the likes of Brewster, Solanke, Wilson, but they're not. You see, the problem with Liverpool was the drop off from our front 3 to Solanke Ings was ridiculous. If you had a stopgap in there, not a stopgap, but someone, the level isn't dropping off a cliff. If you have a Fekir, let's throw a name or Dembele for argument's sake.
Yeah.
Just use them as an example. But if you have these three, and then the next person in is Fekir, Solanke, or Fekir, Dembele, and then you have these three behind it. These three are coming in when we're winning 3-0, when we're winning 2-0.
Exactly, they're hungry.
Exactly, and they're coming into a team where we're going, geez, we're winning 3-0, I have a chance to get a fucking goal here. And is that what you're looking at? Because that's what I'd be looking at.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'd be looking at. Guys, as you said, we could be winning 2-3-0 and Klopp turns someone 20 minutes goal and says, go out there, enjoy yourself, grab yourself a goal if you can. You know, show me what you can do.
Yeah. And they're not being thrown in at the deep end.
No, it's pointless if you're losing a game 1-0 or drawing it 0-0 against Chelsea. You know, I wouldn't be throwing Brewster on with 15 minutes to go because...
You want to throw in a Dembele or a
Fekir. Exactly, because you could ruin it. Like, I think Solanke last season, I thought he was absolutely brilliant in pre-season. I watched all the pre-season games and Solanke looked unbelievable. So I could certainly understand why we let Origi go and held on to Solanke. But I think there was some games where he was played where he just wasn't ready and it kind of maybe ruined his confidence for the rest of the season. So I don't think we can do that again with Brewster and Wilson. These guys have to be given an opportunity when we're well on top of a game, not when we're drawing or losing, to go out there and just express themselves.
Yeah, I'm fully in agreement. Let's move on to goalkeepers, Molly, because I put out a tweet about 4 or 5 weeks ago and I said the expected lineup for Liverpool FC next season will be, and I literally listed 11 goalkeepers. Sorry, 10 goalkeepers. Mike Hooper was included and Firmino was the striker. And it was clearly in jest. It was just, I was acting that maggot, being honest with you. But we've literally been linked with, name a goalkeeper, we've been linked with them. The Alisson thing seems to be, a lot of people are saying that he wants to go to Madrid. That's his first choice, but we're in negotiations with him. And if we can agree personal terms, we'll go to Roma then. A lot of people are saying that he's agreed personal terms with Real Madrid and Real Madrid are trying to agree a fee. The Real Madrid one is a bit strange to me because Real Madrid, for me, if they're going for any goalkeeper, they should be going for De Gea because that's who they want and that's who he wants. It's clear as that.
Or Courtois from Chelsea, I think he'd be a good fit at Real Madrid as well.
But the Oblak thing, if Oblak wants to move away from Atletico, Courtois could go back there because he was on loan there in Chelsea, and I think his wife and child is still in Madrid.
That's right, yeah.
There's fucking domestic issues there that I'm not getting into. But I've seen some goalkeeper off Lazio that looks fucking mad as a box of frogs. Alisson, Oblak, Butland, the list goes on and on. For you, is this just lazy journalism that just keeps popping out names and clickbait, or do you still believe that Liverpool have a target and they're going to stick on that target until that target is either A, not for sale, or B, moved somewhere else?
I think it's a mixture of two, Gav. So if you look at the All Black link, for example, I always thought that was a crazy link. Like, there's no way Liverpool are going to pay 88 million. I think that's what his buyout is, in around that, for a goalkeeper. That's just not going to happen. Like, if you look at mega rich Man City, they paid, I think it was 32, 33 million for Ederson. So there's no way we're going to pay nearly 3 times that for a goalkeeper. So that one for me went straight out the window. This Lazio guy, again, I don't know a whole lot about him. I think they're looking at like 25 to 30 million.
I've seen one clip where he kicks the ball off the player and hits
the bar. Yeah, I saw it. So that was enough
for me. Him. Yeah, fuck off.
So that was it. And plus the link came out of some dodgy Italian websites. I ain't buying that one either, to be honest with you. I think really the list comes down to a couple of players we're looking at. Obviously Alisson. It feels like we're kind of just hanging around like a stray dog just to see will he agree terms with Real Madrid, or will Real Madrid not pay the money that Rome is looking for, and we'll try to swoop in. So I think we're basically kind of sitting behind the queue there just to see what Real Madrid do. If Alisson go to Real Madrid, I fully think we have someone lined up, and I think that is going to be Butland. And I think they're going to go to him and go, well, look, come in, let's challenge for Karius. You can fight it out to see who gets number 1 spot for next season. Yeah,
I think that's the only way Karius stays at the club.
Yeah, I agree with you, because if we sign an Alisson, or I'm not even going to mention Oblak because that's not going to happen, but you know, even like a Keylor Navas, for example, what happens to him if Alisson comes to Madrid? Maybe he'll come available. So if we sign one of these big name goalkeepers, I can't see why Karius would stay. He spent a season and a half on the bench as it is, waiting to get his game time. And when his chance did come, okay, concussion, no concussion, but it didn't work out for him. So there's no way he's going to spend another season sitting on the bench waiting to get ahead of a Navas or an Alisson or, you know, one of these other international goalkeepers.
Yeah, right. Just you keep saying to me that All Black is not it's not going to happen. If the rumours are true about Alisson, and we're looking at 65 odd million, I genuinely would go the extra 20 million and pay for All Black. I genuinely would.
Yeah,
I take the 20 million hit, knowing that this guy could be keeper for 7 to 8 years, and the quality he's at and the standards he's at. I would genuinely do it.
Yeah, I get where you come from, because look, All Black is probably the best goalkeeper in the world right now. You know, the amount of clean sheets he's kept for Atletico Madrid is. You know,
I was having this discussion today, and I think Neuer, De Gea, and All Black are the top 3 in the world. That's as simple as that.
I might have Alisson in there instead of maybe even Neuer, because he's been out injured for the last year, so it's a tough one to call. But look, just say, as you said, it will cost us 85 to 88 million to get All Black. For the goalkeeper, like, no club has ever spent anywhere near that amount for a goalkeeper. The fact that he has a buyout clause of 88 million is put in there like the Barcelona put in the 250 million, whatever it was, for Neymar. It's just a crazy amount that the Spanish clubs put in there, knowing that no club is ever going to come along and touch it. Like, if you look at Alisson, I think there was rumours of Roma wanting 60 to 70 million. Even Real Madrid came out and goes, look, at that money Liverpool can have him. So even they wouldn't pay that type of money for a goalkeeper. And if we were, how's that going to affect our budget for the rest of the team? Like, I've seen some people say that we have 180, 200 million to spend this summer. I ain't buying that for 1 second. I don't think we've anywhere near that amount. We probably have, you know, let's just say we had Fekir at 50 million. We were looking at Shaqiri at 12 and Fabinho another 50. So you probably stick on another 20. You may have maybe 150 million tops. You ain't going to spend half that budget on a goalkeeper.
Yeah, I get that. Just to touch on Butland with you, right? And I said that the only way Karius stays at the club is, for me, is if Butland joins, because I think Karius looks at Butland and says, yeah, I'm as good as him. So they're not really replacing me. They're just getting Mignolet out the door and they're bringing this lad in and I'll be okay. I think if the likes of an Alisson or an All Black comes in, I think Karius looks and goes, no, I'm not getting in here, I'm out of here. The one name that's come up there, and a couple of people said it, is it Pope of Burnley?
Yeah, like I'll be honest, I've seen Pope play a good few times with Burnley, and he's always impressed me. He's a big frame of a lad. He gets down pretty quick. So I like Pope, and even the goalkeeper that he replaced there, Heaton, he's a decent goalkeeper as well. So I wouldn't mind seeing Pope come in, especially if he's only going to cost us probably around 25 million or so. So yeah, I think that'd be a good shout. Again, I think if Pope came in, I think Karius would look at that and go, yeah, I'll have some of that. I'll go up against Pope. But I think he could be a bargain.
You think so? I haven't seen enough of him. You see, my worry is that Pope is playing for Burnley.
Yeah.
And that's my only hope. That's my only problem with it. And, you know, Mignolet looked great playing for Sunderland. Let's be honest about it. Mignolet was raved about at Sunderland because, look at the amount of shots he's saving. We're not looking for a goalkeeper. Of course we're looking for a goalkeeper that saves fucking shots. That's what we're saying. But we're not looking for a goalkeeper that's constantly, you know, under siege. We're looking for a goalkeeper that plays a high line, is able to play with his feet, is commanding, can when he does have to do anything, he's commanding and he gets going again quickly. I don't know if Pope does that.
Well, look, Burnley aren't they're not relegation fodder by any means.
No,
you know, so they finished 7th place, I think it was, and from what I've seen of Pope, he definitely commands the box. As I said, he's a big he must be about 6'3", 6'4". He's a big guy who gets down quick. I haven't seen much of him regards his distribution to see how fast that comes out. I doubt he plays a high line, because Burnley just doesn't play that way. They sit a little bit deeper. But I think if he was to come in, he'd surprise a few.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying he wouldn't. I just, you see, I'm more worried about who you bring in and the mentality it gives to other players there.
Mm.
I want it. If Klopp has decided that Karius is not the man, I think he needs to show him there and then, you are not my fucking man. This is my man. I don't want him to come in and go, oh, maybe I am still his man. This guy is from Burnley, or this guy is from, Stoke that's been relegated. Surely they're no better than me. You know, I think it needs to be decisive, and I think that's probably the one criticism I have of Klopp, is that he hasn't been decisive enough on his goalkeepers. He's messed around with Mignolet. Now, he's shown some sort of loyalty to them, I get that, but he's shown a loyalty to Mignolet, and I said this last season to lads before the season starts, if we're discussing Simon Mignolet after 8 to 10 games next season, we've done something seriously fucking wrong.
Yeah.
And I stand by that this season. If we get 8 to 10 games in and we're still discussing the pros and cons of Loris Karius, we've done something wrong. Because A, he's still in goal, and B, if we're still discussing the pros and cons of him, we haven't replaced him properly. Because you wouldn't have to discuss the pros and cons if you've replaced him. And this isn't a replacement for me. The likes of Button or Pope is not a replacement. Yeah. It's a challenge to him, and I don't think it's a challenge we can afford. I think we need to nail our colours to some sort of mast and say, right, this is what we're going to do.
And Gav, it sends a message. I think if you sign a player like Pope, as I said, I rate the guy. I think he'd be a great player, but what message does that send to the rest of the squad? Because I remember reading a story not so long ago about when Arsenal, when they signed Ozil, seemingly it was players at some kit unveiling.
It wasn't Ozil. It was Sanchez.
Was it Sanchez? Well, I know one of the bigger players, and they all kind of got the text message to say that he signed. And they all looked to one another and goes, "Oh, look who signed here! What a player!" And I think that's the type of message you want to send to the rest of the squad, like we did with Van Dijk. You sign a big name player, and they all look one another and go, "Yeah, we're going for this season. This is our year. We're going to win the league or the Champions League." If you sign a Nick Pope, they're going to look at it and go, "Oh, Nick Pope, who's he?"
You see, if you said to me, and I don't know how you feel about this, but if you said to me, we're getting rid of Mignolet, right, and we're probably going to get rid of Ward, the talks of Grabara being upgraded from the 23s or the 18s, wherever he's playing, makes sense. For me, what would I do is I'd say, right, say for him, you're signing the Butlins, right? I'd rather spend less on Butlins and go all out on a centre half, right? Or I'd go all out on a keeper, a la All Black or Allison, and not touch the centre half.
Yeah.
Because I don't think both of them need to be done.
Yeah, no, I tend to agree with you there. I'd like to see a centre back come in, only because it's not Lovren. I actually think Lovren is a fine centre back. Obviously, Virgil van Dijk is an absolute Range Rover player, but below that, we don't have a whole lot.
I think Lovren is a really top, has been really good because Van Dijk has been there, because he knows his job and he's just told to fucking do it. And if he doesn't do it, Van Dijk is going to punch him in the mouth.
Yeah, but look, whatever you think about Lovren, look, some people hate him, some people think he's okay. But if you look below that, the likes of Clavin, Matip, I don't think they're up to scratch.
I'm not Matip's biggest fan whatsoever.
No, I think Gomez, he could make it, but again, he's so injury prone. It's a tough one to call. So for that reason, I think we do need a centre half. I think that centre half we need is the Newcastle guy. I can't really pronounce Lascelles. Yeah, Lascelles. He looks like, anytime I've seen him play, the aura I got off him was a Virgil van Dijk aura. He's athletic, he's tall, he's quick. He just seems to have it. He just looks confident. So I'd love to see us get him in, but not at the expense of, like as I said, if you were giving me a choice of, you can have Butland and Lascelles, or you can have an Allison and just go with Matip, Clavin and Gomez. I'm going with the Allison and what we have at the moment before Butland and the Lascelles.
Yeah, it does. At Steve Borton, 26 says, how many players at Liverpool signed that looked average and Klopp made the best out of them? I fully agree with that. And this is where we go to Shaqiri, because people have their comments on Shaqiri, and he was at Ball and he went to Bayern and then he toned us down. I think he toned us down before he went to Bayern, then toned us down again. Or maybe he toned us down when he was leaving Bayern and went to Inter, and all that. Certainly a little bit went on about Shaqiri. I agree with Steve Borton there. I don't think you can judge any player before Jurgen Klopp gets hold of them. Because let's be honest about it, Jurgen Klopp has not, in my opinion, signed a player for Liverpool that's toned up and has not progressed. That's my opinion. I could be off the mark there. Someone's probably going to throw a name at me at some stage. But Lascelles to me, yeah, just going back on Lascelles to me is the absolute centre ground for yes or is he a project. He's right in that kind of mix where, look, let's be honest. If you signed a Jerome Boateng or you signed a Toby Alderweireld, you know what you're getting. Lascelles to me looks like very accomplished at Newcastle and could come in and take that step. And then again, I think, is he a project? Is he someone that's going to take a year, 18 months, 2 years? It's a bit risky. I'm all over Toby Alderweireld, and the lads know that, and I won't shut about it until he moves to another club.
Yeah, but this guy, like, what age is Toby? I think he's 31 at this stage. He's 14 on the same.
29, no, he's 29, just going towards.
Okay, but he is coming to the pinnacle of his career. If you look at Lascelles, I think he's 25, 26. He's coming into the prime of it, and he looks just ready. Nearly, he just looks ready for that next step up. I'm always wary about signing guys like your Boatengs and your Tobys and people like that. It's just been there and done it, because I think they come in and sometimes they can be a little bit lazy. Their attitude mightn't be the best. You know, they already have their Champions League winners' medals and their World Cup places and all of that. I much prefer us to see bringing a guy that's young and hungry and who's ready to make the next step. And like Salah, if you look at Salah, he was 24, I suppose 25 when we signed him. Again, he was one of these guys who was at Roma, and he just looked like he was ready for the next step up. We could have easily went away and signed someone like Igazza, who's been there and done it.
He's my worst nightmare.
Yeah, and there's links to him again this summer.
Worst nightmare.
So, would you have a Shaqiri or a Igazza?
Shaqiri all day, because Shaqiri plays football. Goetze doesn't. No, that's genuinely, and I'll tell you why. Because look, let's go on to Goetze for argument's sake, right? Because we're going to touch on a few names before we finish up. But the Goetze to me is a player that has never been the same since, I think it was an injury in 2015 or 16 maybe. But my problem with Goetze is you sign him, he's not going to come cheap. All right, no. So you're going to actually lose the possibility of bringing somebody in to get Goetze, and then something happens to him and he's injured, and you've blown a hell of a lot of your transfer fund, but you're blown an awful lot of your wages on this guy that simply cannot be depended on.
Yeah. Well, you could get him cheap. Like, I reckon Dortmund would probably take Shaqiri money for him. That's why I said Shaqiri.
But he's not going to take Shaqiri wages.
No, well, he may take, like, I don't know what he's on at Dortmund. He's probably on maybe over 150 grand a week, because I know when Liverpool were interested prior to signing Mane, I think they were willing to make him the top earner at the club, which at the time would have been around 150,000 per week, and he turned us down for Dortmund. So that suggests to me that he's in and around that type of money. So he might be willing to take even a little bit of a drop on that. But are you going to give this guy 120 grand a week? Someone who, as you said, hasn't played a whole lot of football, seems to break down a lot. When he does play, he seems to be taking off a lot. I don't think so. I think that boat has sailed for him.
I hope it has, because the other problem I have, Molly, is that, say for argument's sake, he takes 70 grand a week, just for argument's sake, right? So he's taking a reasonable amount of money. We're getting him a reasonable amount, say Shaqiri type 12 million quid. The problem I'd have is then if Klopp gets clouded in his judgment about Goetze, and he shows too much loyalty to him, and he tries to, shoehorn him into a team that doesn't need him, and he doesn't function for them. Because when I look at Goetze now, I think, okay, what do you do? Play the front three, what do you do? Because we're all about going centre forward that drops off and creates, and these two boys that are absolutely on fucking magic dust. You know what I mean? I don't know what they're on. But Goetze doesn't suit. And I just, the whole thing around Goetze, it's too emotional in my opinion for Klopp not to try and make it work, and I'd worry about that. Now, having said that, Klopp could turn around and go, I gave him 6 months, he's fucking terrible, I'm going to fuck him out the door. Klopp could be really, really kind of, decisive on that, and he's not, I forget the word I'm going to use, but he's not going to be, give him any special treatment. Klopp is going to be decisive on it. For me, Goetze, no, it'd be worse nightmare. Shaqiri, let's touch on it. Shaqiri, the talk is that we're interested. The talk is that we'll meet his buyout clause, and the wages won't be a problem. Liverpool fans kind of split on him. What way would he work with? I wouldn't mind him, because if you take Ings out and you put him in, he's still a definite upgrade. My only issue is he enough of an upgrade? But having said that, if you get a really, really, really top range upgrade, how do you keep them happy if these three boys are still scoring 80 fucking goals a season?
Yeah. Well, the most recent talk is we've actually cooled our interest in Shaqiri. I'm not really too sure what that means, where we're looking at another player or whatever, but seemingly Sky Sports came out last night and said that the interest has been cooled in Shaqiri. I'll be honest, I was delighted to hear that. If you look at Shaqiri, he's had his chances at Bayern, he's had his chances at Inter Milan, and he's never really taken it. And I just don't trust a player that has already been at a couple of big clubs and haven't made it with him. He just reminds me of, like, if you look at Balotelli, he was with Man City, AC Milan, Inter Milan, and he never did it. And and he's with Stoke, and I think Shaqiri's level is, I'm not going to say Stoke level because they were relegated, but it's kind of mid-level Premier League, likes of Burnley or Everton. He'd probably be perfect for Everton. But
all right, I'll ask you, because someone has said he's a great squad player. Is he a first teamer for Everton, and he might be some sort of squad player for us, or do you think a first teamer at Everton is still not a squad player for us?
I think he's probably a first team player with Everton, but he wouldn't even be a squad player for us. So, to be honest, there's not one player, like if you're looking at Everton, there's not one player I would take from their team to put into our squad. Maybe at a push Coleman, but that's only because I'm Irish and I think he's a good player. But other than that,
quality player.
Yeah, he's a good right back. But other than that, I can't see us taking one player from Everton to put into our team. And
I'd have taken Ross Barkley before he left.
Yeah, that's just an idea. Everton fans do.
No, it's not.
You think he's a good player?
Oh, I would have. 100% I would have. Yeah.
Because Ross Barkley 2 years ago, but
Ross Barkley is the sort of player that I think if you let express himself and be that little bit carefree and don't give him a hell of a lot of responsibility, I think he's a fabulous player. I genuinely do. I think he has all the talent in the world. But when you put him into a system, I'll have to fucking... well, Allardyce didn't, because he pretended to be injured for 6 months. But Allardyce was there, and he's probably better off, He probably... Yeah, Allardyce is a wanker. But, you could see him with Koeman. Koeman was very regimented in what he done. And he probably excelled most under that gobshite that's managing Belgium, because it was a bit of a carefree attitude. And yeah, I'd have taken Barkley all day. Yeah,
but he hasn't done a whole lot of Chelsea since he's joined them. I know there's
fucking want him.
Yeah, so fair enough. I saw Barkley a couple of years ago playing for Everton. Like that, I would have said, "Oh wow, this guy. He kind of reminded me a little bit of Rooney when he first broke through in the Everton ranks." But he seems to have just gone downhill since then. So if we push that back to Shaqiri, again, I think he'd slow Everton down to the ground. But all he'd be doing is taking up a place on the bench on our team. And all he'd be doing is I think his wage was like 120 grand per week. Like, I bring it back to the youngsters, the likes of the Woodburns and the Wilsons. I'd much prefer to give that spot on the bench to these guys and let them show us what they can give. And they're hungry, they want it. I don't think Shaqiri would be hungry and wanting it.
You see, I look at Shaqiri, and what I think is, although he's 26, I think if Shaqiri was to come to Liverpool, I think it'd be a little bit like Balotelli, where it's his last chance to be at a top drawer team.
Yeah.
Because I think if Shaqiri came to us, like Balotelli did, everyone said it, it's his last chance. What are we going to do? He has to perform now. And true to form, he's fucking playing with Nice. I'm sorry, but Nice are not a top, anywhere near the top draw club.
But he's brilliant with Nice, to be fair to him.
What?
He's brilliant with Nice, to be fair to him.
Yeah, he is, because he's that big fish in a small pond.
Yeah, and Shaqiri's the same, I think. I think he's, he kind of stood out at Stoke. He was doing well at Ball while he's with him. I think, and he's definitely a big fish.
Yeah, no. He's like me. He's my shape. He's exactly my shape. So that's why I like him. So I just think if you give Shaqiri that chance, you make or break him. And let's be honest about it. If you gave Shaqiri a year at Liverpool and he comes on and he makes 15 starts and 20 sub appearances and he puts in 8-10 goals, you're kind of going, yeah, Grant. If it doesn't happen, you turn around, you walk him out the fucking door, you take 10 million, you've lost football, and you call it quits. So I'm on the side of I wouldn't have a problem with Shaqiri. But having said that, if we could get someone that slight bit better, yeah, I'm all right with that as well. I just think it's a very peculiar summer because, and the whole Fabinho thing is throwing everyone as well, because everyone thought, oh, hold on, here we go, Liverpool are messing, and the Fekir team would have been done last Friday. It would have been done last Friday, only for certain issues. What them issues are, I'm still not 100%, because I think everything that came out of it was from the French side, from French media, and let's be honest about it, that player should be discussed with Lyon as a club, because that club fed all this information to the French media about him, about his knee, about this, that, and the other. And the only thing that nothing came out of Liverpool, and nobody knows, apart from what they've been told, and they've sold that player up the river, as far as I'm concerned.
Well, I agree with you. Look, nothing else came out of Liverpool, and it all came from the French media. But it doesn't take a genius to figure out what's going on here. Like the pictures was leaked of him in the Liverpool case and going to do the interview, and the fee was agreed, all of this. And if the deal didn't happen, there's only one reason why a deal is not going to happen at that stage, and it's because of a medical. So, everyone kind of quickly figured out, well, this guy's knees is banjacks, they must have made a cheese strings for this deal not to go through. I'm a little bit disappointed in Liverpool in a way, because I don't know, were Lyon pulling the wool over their eyes, or they just didn't look into this deal a bit more. But they obviously knew about his previous injuries, and I just can't see why we hadn't kind of looked into this a bit more and asked Lyon for, okay, look, before we talk about fees and stuff like that, can you send us over his last few MRI scans, or what his training routine is like? And because it came out, he doesn't train a whole lot, that he's one of these guys.
Now, hold on, Molly. It's come out that he doesn't train an awful lot.
Yeah.
But nobody has confirmed that. You see, this is the problem I have with this, right? And I'm going to get on to Liverpool and their attitude from the end of last season to right up to now. But nobody in a position of authority over Nabil Fekir has told us that he trains and he has this, and this. This is all fucking conjecture from the likes of RMC and L'Equipe and all these people. And this is where I'm going back to it. They sold that player up the river, and Lyon let it happen. Because at the end of the day, right, if Liverpool turned around tomorrow and made an official statement and said, we are Liverpool Football Club and we no longer want to sign Nabil Fekir, we're not going into the details, job done, walk away. Liverpool can walk away with that. But Lyon now have to say, okay, well, yeah, right, it was fed into the press that this player has a dodgy knee, this player's on this amount a week, this player's worth this amount, we're going to fucking wait till the end of the summer, and, he's on a special training regime. This was all fed to, now, whether it was, I believe it was fed to French media. Now, if it wasn't fed to French media, and French media came out and said this, and ruining this guy's reputation, Lyon should have come out and said, no, hold on, what you're talking is absolute bollocks. And he didn't.
No, I agree with you. And look, you could be right. Liverpool may have already known previous about his training regime. They might even had a couple of MRIs beforehand and still wanted to push ahead and said, look, we'll try to keep it on the table and let's see when he passed the medical and so on. And it just hasn't happened, and Lyon has basically thrown him underneath the bus. I personally don't see it that way, Gav. I wouldn't expect Liverpool to come out with any statement. Like, at the end of the day, he's not a Liverpool player. So why should it come out? Like, if they're going to come out and talk about Fekir, then people are going to go, oh, well, what's the story about Shaqiri now? And what's the story about Alisson? And what's the story about... they're going to have to make a comment about all the players they're linked with. They're not going to do that. So I have no problem with Liverpool not coming out with a statement. Plus, they're going to want to keep their powder dry, because I don't think that Fekir deal is dead in the water by any means. Don't think it's dead in the water by any means. Okay, we're going to probably wait till the World Cup is over. He's going to come back, and at that stage, if you were right and Lyon has kind of thrown him underneath the bus, then Fekir's not going to be happy. He's not going to want to stay at Lyon.
No, I can't see him being happy now at all.
He's going to want to get this move. He's going to want to push it. And if that means he goes to Lyon and go, well, look, you're going to have to accept a little bit less for me, and I'm willing to take a cut in wages, I can see the deal being done.
Because at the end of the day, if he comes back from the World Cup, not a problem on him. Right? And he goes to Lyon and says, listen, Liverpool are offering 55 million plus add-ons, 60 million total. I need you to take it. Because if you don't take it, no matter what, even if Liverpool decide they don't like the fucking haircut you have, and I'm not signing them, the rest of the world is going to think that I can't sign for Liverpool because my knee is fucked. And now I can't get the contract I need. And now I can't get the milk I need.
Yeah.
So he may put pressure on Leon and say, lads, regardless of what's going on, Liverpool are still offering this money. You need to take it because you've absolutely fucked my career now.
Yeah.
If you don't accept this Liverpool deal, everyone from there on in is going to think this player cannot play at a top level for a serious amount of time on X amount of money. And this is the point to go back to. They've let this come out in the French media, and I listened to a podcast last week, right? And you know, the person I listen to on the podcast, I have a lot of respect for. I'm not going to name any names, but I have a lot of respect for them. Their information is usually spot on. And I listened to this podcast and it was all about, you know, what actually happened with the Fekir deal and all. And when I listened to what I thought, now hold on, what you're talking to me now about is literally what I've read off French media for the last week. So don't pass that off to me as your information. You know what I mean? And don't get me wrong, I've an awful lot of respect for this person, but what went on last week was literally, this is what the French media have fed us, and this is what I'm going to pass off now as information. And it wasn't information. It was basically what I read on Twitter or on social media from the French media, RMC, L'Equipe, and everyone else. And then this was, this is what we believe. No, hold on. You can't just believe. Tell me what fucking happened. Or don't. You know, that kind of way. And you see, if you have the French media feeding you that, and then you have a journalist coming out and saying, this is actually what we believe what happened. If that's what they're doing, imagine what the player is being fucking... Imagine what's happened with the player when he comes out, and then they're all doing this one.
Yeah, and same he thought the deal was done. Again, we're going after French media, but when he joined up...
Let's be perfectly clear on this, Modi. We are going off French media because nobody in the English media has a fucking clue what's going on with this. Let's be perfectly honest about that.
And a few of them have even come out, I presume you're on about Melissa Reddy, who was on the Anfield Rap Gutter show, which was a great show, by the way. But she even mentioned that it was her sources in the French media that has given her this information. So it is all coming out for the French media. And they reported that he showed up to the French World Cup squad in Clairefontaine, and he was delighted. The deal is going through, everything is fine. There was a bit of an issue with the medical, but that'll all be sorted. And all of a sudden, within a couple of hours, Leon came out with a statement that said, no, we've broken off discussions with Liverpool.
Yeah, but Leon never put to bed what the French media were saying.
No, they never actually came out and said the reports of a failed medical are untrue. They were quick enough to come out and say that they weren't in discussions with Liverpool, and 24 hours later they came out and said they're breaking off discussions. So they're not slow with coming out with a statement by any means. And you would think, I'm going to say, if it was Liverpool and we were looking to sell, I don't know, let's just say it was Coutinho to Barcelona at that time, and an issue arose with the medical, I'd be disappointed if Liverpool hadn't come out and goes, look, this is our player, we full faith in him, his medical has been fine, he's been playing with us for the last couple of years, blah, 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 blah. Look, there must have been some other reason why the club pulled out, maybe didn't want to pay the fee or whatever it is. But by basically not confirming or denying these medical rumours, they may as well just be confirming them.
Yeah, because Liverpool, in fairness to them, have said nothing on this. From when, let's be honest about it, the agreement that was on that Thursday night was through journalists, and it was the agreement being done. And it wasn't through Liverpool. Liverpool didn't say to any of the journalists, this deal is agreed. This information was taken from France and ran through the British media. All right? So the problem I have is, and I'm trying to defend the player here more than anything else. And don't get me wrong, I agree with you. I think he's still signed. I think you said he's still signed.
I think he will.
I agree with it as well, because I said this last week. I think this suits this guy out last stat. It runs on and he gets a bit of attention out of it, and he probably gets a chance to sign the players he wants and then uses, and the fair money comes in and balances the books and all that. You know the way it works.
He gets the kind of crowd cry foul going,
yeah, of course he does. I held on as long as I could.
Yeah, and the forced my hand and he'd only 2 years left.
And the player looks the worst in the world. There's a whole lot, right? I get that, right? But Liverpool haven't said a fucking thing on this. But against that, any information that came out, right? Leon have not, the only thing Leon have said officially is that we've broken off negotiations with Liverpool, right? And they've let all this stuff run out and seep out into the media about the players' fucking knee problems, you name it, they've let it seep out.
The training regime.
Why didn't they come out and say, everything that's being said in the media is complete bollocks? We've called off negotiations because we can't come to an agreement with Liverpool on the transfer for Nabil Fekir. And then at least then they're in a position where they can say, well, if A, B or C comes to sign him, we're not in any position where we're fucking talking about his knee or fucking his haircut or whatever the fuck it is.
Yeah, they could turn around and say, look, we were talking to Liverpool, they were offering 55. It didn't go through, so you're going to have to better that deal.
100%. And for me, Leon are in a position now where they've sold the player up the river, and when it comes, Liverpool come back in at the end of the World Cup, which I believe they will, and Liverpool will go, well, nothing's changed, because you can't get a taker on this player because of what you've done to him, at the start of June.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that.
It could turn out that Liverpool have played a blinder in this one, if the deal happens, and if it happens for a fee less than what was originally stated at 55. And I don't think it will. I think it'll happen for around that 50 to 55 million, but it could be certain bonuses based on certain amount of appearances made and stuff like that. So we'll stick to the original fee, but we're going to break it up into appearance based instead of other different bonus based. So yeah, I think Liverpool could have possibly played a blinder in this one if it all turns out how we all hope it turns out.
Yeah, no, they could do, but I still believe that Liverpool at some stage will be back in with that player, and I think they will secure him. And I think Leon can. If Leon were looking for more money and get actually what they were offered or less, they've only themselves to blame. They've only themselves to blame because they've put no protection around that player. They put no protection around his reputation, and they've let media drag stuff out and just left it there. And they've left it there. Listen, the last thing I want to touch on, and we go back to Liverpool, is I've titled this "It's All So Quiet." The podcast. It was earlier because we were on fucking mute, but I'm going to put this to you, Molly. Liverpool have made one statement this season. One since the season ended. And the only statement they made was, we've signed for Fabinho.
Yeah.
And then they fucked off again.
Yeah.
So when this Fekir stuff broke down, people went, the club have gone quiet, they've closed ranks, the journalists know fuck all, and stuff like that. I don't think anyone's known anything since the Champions League final finished. And I think that's going to stay like that until August the 9th. Are you comfortable with that?
Yeah.
Are you very wary of that? Or is it just, that's the way we do business now?
I hope this is the way we're going to do business from now. Like we mentioned, I think it was on the very first podcast that we did about Fabinho, that it came out of nowhere and no one had a clue. In fact, when the news broke that we were interested, he'd actually already signed the deal, because we saw the vlog later on and there was a clock behind him that says something like 1:10 and the interest of the news didn't break till like 5:10 or something like that. So the deal was done.
Well, it's weird. In Ireland, we're 26 minutes behind England.
All right, yeah.
No, genuinely, we are. We only moved there because Phil off the Tripper said we should. We're 26 minutes behind England. So 1:10 there was probably fucking,
like 12:30 here. Something like that.
Something fucking stupid like that. Yeah.
So I think this way is going to go. Like again, we'll bring it up to the very first episode when we said that the club are probably a little bit wary about leaking out the interest of who they're in for, because other clubs will come up and snap it up. I remember bringing up Jorginho. If you remember, Paul Joyce came out. I'd maybe say it was close to the end of the season, maybe a couple of weeks before the end of the season, and said that Jorginho is Liverpool's number one target for filling that midfield position. Next thing we know, Man City are all over it. So I think the club have learned lessons from that and kind of gone, no, that's it. No more leaks, no more information going out. Because if a player's name goes out there, we're going to get gazumped by the likes of your Cities or your Uniteds or Barcelonas or whoever. Because, as what you said earlier on, the players that we've signed under Klopp, I don't think anyone can name one player that hasn't at least improved or increased their value. And other clubs are watching this and going, whatever Liverpool are doing, regardless of transfer business, they're doing something right. So if they're after a player, maybe we should be looking at that player they're after as well. Yeah.
No, I seen a tweet going back a week to 10 days ago, and it was about, United, City, Chelsea, Arsenal, all these fans of rival clubs, as you put it, and the reaction of them to, say, the Fekir deal, and they were all kind of rejoicing. And one guy on Twitter, and I can't remember his name, and I apologise, but he was saying that says a lot. They fear Liverpool. They fear that when Liverpool make a transfer, they get it right. And for every transfer Liverpool get right, it pushes Liverpool onto another level with the players that they have already, and they've every right to be afraid of Liverpool, and I believe so. I think they've every right to be afraid of Liverpool.
It's kind of similar to I'd compare it a little bit to Southampton. Like if you look at the guys they've signed over the last couple of years, like the likes of the Van Dijks, half of them linked up with us, the Kleins. I think that midfielder have Lemena, who's gone on to do better things. Alderweireld, Wanyama. You could list the players off.
Yeah.
So again, I think once clubs see that Southampton are interested in a player, like for example, they're signing Maddison, I think at the moment, or they're in for Maddison off Norwich. Other clubs in start sniffing around going, oh well, if Southampton are in for him, he must be promising. There must be something in for it.
Yeah.
So let's join that queue.
Yeah. No, it's a fair point, and I just think that to finish it off. For me, I'm comfortable with Liverpool say fuck all.
Yeah.
If you just every couple of weeks just keep lashing out with signing and going, we've done him.
Yeah.
I'm happy with that. And I think it's very telling that, journalists, even with the Fabinho one, will understand Liverpool are interested. Now Liverpool may have dropped that in. They may have dropped it and said, yeah, we're interested.
Yeah.
And what we're gonna do is now, and it may be in a show of power. We're interested in them. And the minute you put that tweet out, within 25 minutes, I'm going to have that fucker standing with Liverpool jersey or Melwood, and I'm going to show you who's in power. It may be something like that. Now, I'm not saying it is, but are you in agreement that I think we're both in agreement before we finish up? Liverpool being quiet is not a bad thing.
No, it's not a bad thing. Like by the time we finish up this pod, we could easily have signed somebody else. And plus, look, we brought it up on the very first pod again that look, the World Cup is throwing a bit of a spanner into the works. Like there's also players who are not at the World Cup are probably on holidays at the moment because they normally break up for the first couple of weeks, go on holidays and stuff like that. Agents and all the same, all could be on holidays. So I'm not in panic mode just because no strong rumours have come out lately. I'm not in panic mode yet. Look, a week before the start of the season, if it was still this way, then yes, I'll be panicking. But for now, I'm pretty chilled about it.
Yeah, I'm pretty chill too. What we're going to do is we'll come back. We'll be back next Sunday, won't we, Molly?
We'll be here.
Yeah. If anything breaks short in the week, we'll definitely be here. Just one thing I want to touch on. I was told it's pronounced Kofi.
Yes.
K-O, is it Kofi, yeah?
K-O-F-I, I believe.
Correct, Molly. Oh, jeez, thank God you're here. K-O-F-I /LFC-daytrippers.com. And basically, if you go into that website, type in Day Trippers, you'll see there that the lads are looking for help. They need fucking more than money to help them because they're all fucking lunatics. But they're looking for help. The bunker is being refurbished. There's a lot of work, trust me, a lot of work and time has gone into this money. But the lads want to keep this podcast free, genuinely. Yeah. They want to keep it free all the time. They never want to go behind the paywall. I've nothing against podcasts on paywalls, but they don't want to go behind the paywall. They want to keep this as free for as long as they possibly can, with as many podcasts as they possibly can. So if you go to ko-fi.com / LFCDaytrippers.com, you'll see there, you donate €5, helps the lads. You donate 10, you'll end up with your name on the wall of the new bunker, and I think it'll be your Twitter handle or your name, whatever you want, you can decide. But give the lads a help, dig out.
Yeah, I have to say, Gav, as you said, the Day Trippers close maybe 3 podcasts a week, all absolutely free. I know myself how much they put in out of their own pockets to keep these podcasts going between equipment. The website, we paid for our own hosting of that, we paid for the domain name, we paid for speakers, you name it.
Yeah.
The lads, and at no stage have they ever come out and asked for any kind of donation or put it behind a paywall, which I think at the moment are probably the only LFC podcast that's not behind a paywall. And like you, I have no problem with podcasts behind a paywall. For example, I subscribe myself to Janfield Rap, and I think it's well worth the £5 a month to put out some amazing content. But if guys are putting out free content, I think it's great, especially if you're tuning in to go, look, we're going to buy you a pint and put it towards the bunker.
Yeah, absolutely, and I can tell you firsthand because I've been involved with this, and trust me, there's loads of lads involved. But you're talking materials, you're talking labour, you're talking time.
Yeah.
Just Saturdays, Sundays, evenings, midweek evenings, and then you're looking at there's new equipment being bought. There's, you name it, they're putting it into it, and they really want to keep this free. And don't get me wrong, you know, people say, "Oh well, I'm not going to give a fiver." Yeah, they probably still keep it free, but it's just to give us a heads up, just to give us a hand up, just to say, right, that helps us. That helps us get a camera.
And it's a nod of appreciation, I think.
Absolutely, and the lads aren't going to let this pass without showing their appreciation to people, you know. But if you go to that ko-fi.com /LC, all that. Just go to ko-fi.com, type in LC Day Trippers, you'll see it all there. And if you're able to, great. If you're not, fair enough. But any little helps. Isn't that what Tesco say? Every little helps. But no, seriously, there's a serious amount of work gone into this. And trust me, when it's all done, you'll see what work went into it. The lads have not put any information about this online, and it won't go online until it's all ready. But when you see what it's gone from to what it is now, you'll realise what's gone into it. Look, that's been the word of the street for this week. Molly, thanks a million for joining me.
Pleasure, Gav.
I'm being your host, Gav. We will be back if something breaks during the week. Me and Molly have promised that we'll get cans and we'll sit and have a talk about it. If not, we'll be back next Sunday. Grizz should be back with us Wednesday or Sunday. We'll try to get a couple of guests on as well.
He'll be back to talk about the Brewster news anyway and to take on credit for it.
I blocked them on Periscope tonight. Yeah, of course I did. No, that's been us. We will be back as soon as anything breaks. The Tuesday Club should be with you this Tuesday. The tactics board is being worked on. We'll let you know what's going on there. The Fatback 4 is usually on a Sunday. We're in this slot, so we're going to try alternate that now. If transfer stuff goes quiet, we'll come back to the Fatback 4 and let the lads run fucking wild and wherever they want, because that's what they do best. But yeah, no, thanks for joining us. We'll be back to you. Just keep an eye on the LFC Day Trippers feed, and we'll be back to you. And yeah, all good. Have a good week. Hopefully Liverpool are nice and quiet and just throw a sleeve in, a few transfers in there when we're not watching. But that's been us. Thanks a million. Over and out.